No? Mama Juana. Oh. Mama Juana will make you speak Spanish better? Oh, okay. Coquito, coquito. That's right, that's what I need. Woo, you guys make me hot up here. The perfect fan. Oh, you got a perfect fan? Oh, how do I get I can't even remember the words of perfect fan right now. How's the chorus start? Mom, you always were the perfect fan. Something like that? Hopefully I'll remember the words by tonight in the show. You know, somebody asked me earlier, what song was it? Nunca Haré, Llorar. Somebody requested that. Okay, so this is actually a little something I don't normally do, so I'll have to do this a cappella. But if you guys want to sing with me, maybe we'll do the little chorus, all right? Nunca te haré llorar, nunca te haré engañar. Prefiero morir que vivir sin ti. Te daré mi cielo, siempre seré fiel. I'm glad I remember those words too on that one. Un poco nervioso. Boricua, that's right. It's in mi sangre. I'm not a perfect Boricua, but yo trato. Now, this has been it truly is a journey for me, because some of you guys may not know, or if you do know, I'm sorry for repeating myself to you guys, but as a little kid, I didn't grow up speaking Spanish. My mom is Puerto Rican, and if you came to our house, you would always feel it was a Puerto Rican house, because there was the music would be playing, the food would be eaten, the lechon, and the Christmas, we'd always have pasteles and everything. It was definitely, Coqui was coming out at night for sure. I think Uncle Tito was coming around. Tito was coming around our house a lot. My mom would be the last one to go to bed, and God bless her and her sister, 92 and 94 years old. They have the Puerto Rican in them for sure. I think that's where I get my energy from, because you guys know I work a lot with hanging out and stuff like that. So the after parties, I'm there. But as a little kid, like I said, I always felt Puerto Rican inside, but the only thing that was lacking from me was the language. And I think because when I was growing up in Orlando, which is quite ironic now as I say, because Orlando I feel is like Puerto Rico #3 now after New York. But when I was a little kid in the early 70s, we were the only half Puerto Rican family in our area. And my mother did everything that she could to try to make her kids as Americanized as possible, and so that we wouldn't possibly be bullied or have an accent and stuff like that. God bless her, she did what she thought was best for us kids. And to be honest, I never really felt the need to learn Spanish, because I just wasn't around Spanish people. Only time would be sometimes when I have my cousins come in, or if we go to Puerto Rico. But I can definitely see as I started getting older in my teens, I could feel like there was something I was missing, especially when I got really close to doing lots of opportunities for acting, and they were sending out for Latin roles. They're like, you look Spanish, but you don't speak it. Sorry, kid. Move on. We got AJ coming up next week. He definitely don't speak Spanish either. But I got really close to being in a group I've told recently about called Menudo many years ago that Ricky Martin was in at the time, and that was a real kicker for me when I got really close to being in that group. Definitely years before Backstreet Boys, and they wanted me, but it was like at the very end they said they couldn't take me because I didn't know Spanish, and I was like, this is where I had to really take it serious. And I did start studying in high school and in college. I was taking Berlin's courses. It got to a point that I was actually dreaming in Spanish. I was able to keep up with the news, which was, to me, a major accomplishment. And the professors at the time said, Howie, just like I say with my son right now, he's his third year in high school in Spanish. It's one thing to learn it on paper. It's another thing to use it in conversation. And but because I knew all my verbs, like past participles, and conjugations, everything. Now solamente habla en presente, because I forgot all that stuff. But at the time they said, what you need to do now is to go live with the family in like South America or Mexico or someplace besides Puerto Rico. So my cousins would speak to me anyways in English in Puerto Rico. They were always trying to learn English. But they were like, you need to go to a place where they just speak Spanish to really solidify it. And it was a great idea. Just unfortunately for me, the timing didn't work out well, because I got in this little group called the Backstreet Boys at that time. And they were so patiently waiting for me to finish my second year of college, but to ask them to take another departure away from them for 6 months to go learn to solidify Spanish just wasn't in the cards for me. And so that's unfortunately where the language for me kind of didn't get completely solidified. And then over the years, I will definitely admit that I forgot a lot of stuff. Like I said, mi conjugación es muy mala, solamente hablo en presente. And it's because that's what stuck with me. And the fact that our music is in English and we travel around the world, English is like the universal language, that's kind of pretty much what was embedded in me. So, but now, over the years, I finally have been able to say, first of all, I accept who I am as a Puerto Rican. It's in my blood, it's in my DNA. I'm Latin, you can't deny it if you look at my DNA. And there's just because you don't speak the language of your nationality doesn't mean that you're any less. And so I've learned to embrace that. Gracias. And but it's something that I've also been, at my age, at 52 years old, I'm gonna hold that for today at least. I've also been able to say, hey, it's never too late to learn. And so that's what I'm trying. It's a journey. I can definitely say it's not coming back as fast as I was hoping it would be. But it's definitely there. I feel it's embedded in me, and so I welcome any of you guys that are willing to talk to me in Spanish, because I need it. Necesito practicar. And if I apologize if I look at you with a little un poco loco eyes when I don't understand, or I have to say más despacio, por favor. But if you tienes paciencia, por favor, for me, and gracias a Dios, hopefully it will come back to me. But I want to do one more song for you guys. Oh, but speaking of which, and I was going to say earlier with the Coquille song, one thing that it just makes me feel good about music is that, with me as well, like learning Spanish, and a lot of it actually, believe it or not, was because of you guys. With me, the idea, I tried a couple times in the past to work on a Latin record, but I just never felt comfortable, and finally, you guys really inspired me, besides my mom and my kids, because you guys, over the years, I've heard a lot of you say, hey, we learned English to understand what you guys are saying in your Backstreet songs. And I always said that's very powerful. That is something that sticks with you. And so finally the idea came to me to want to record some of the Backstreet songs in Spanish to help me to translate, to understand what it would sound like in Spanish. Obviously you guys are probably hearing some of the translations are not exactly verbatim, because I've come to realize you can't translate word for word. Sometimes it's the essence of a feeling and stuff like that. But I am doing that with the music, and so hopefully over time you guys will get a chance to hear some of the more of the Backstreet stuff that I've done. All I have to give, I just shot a video as well in Puerto Rico when I did Coquille, and as of right now we're possibly looking at it as a second contender. But also at the same time, this project is taking on legs bigger than I expected, so we're also seeing where it's going to go. So we might even put a feature on Coquille with another Latin artist possibly. Like I said, I'm in the midst of now even talking with other writers and producers and artists, and it's just Mark Anthony I just caught up with just recently. Bad Money, yeah, it would be nice. But yeah, so it's so awesome to see the welcoming, the embracement that I've been given by the Latin community and the Latin artist, and so hopefully you guys will come along with me on this journey with this record, and please have patience, because I don't want to put it out too soon without it being 100% ready for you guys to enjoy. So, but in the meantime, I hope you guys enjoy the song. One of the biggest compliments I can also tell you guys is when I hear people who don't speak Spanish that say, we love Coquille, because it's a really cool song. And that's cool. That shows me that music is universal. It doesn't matter what language it is, it's what you feel in your heart with the music. So thank you guys for that. But once again, enough of me talking. I think you guys want to hear more music, probably more so than me talking. So I'm gonna do one more Backstreet song for you guys. I'm gonna stand up for this one because it's a little bit challenging. And it's not that I'm gonna dance, it's because it's just challenging. All right, feel free to sing along if you want. Yeah, yeah. You are my fire, the one desire. Believe when I say but we are two worlds apart. I can't reach to your heart when you say, one more time, I want it that way. Tell me why it ain't nothing but a heartache. Tell me why it ain't nothing but a mistake. Tell me why I never wanna hear you say, I want it that way. Am I your fire, your one desire? Yes, I know it's too late, but I want it that way. Tell me why it ain't nothing but a heart. Tell me why it ain't nothing but a mistake. Tell me why I never want to hear you say, I want it that way. Now I can see that we've fallen apart from the way that it used to be. Yeah, no matter the distance, I want you to know that deep down inside of me, you are my fire. The one, put your fingers in the air. Desire, you are. One, two. Don't wanna hear you say, ain't nothing but a myth. Don't wanna hear you say, I want it that way. Tell me why it ain't nothing but a heart. Tell me why it ain't nothing but a mistake. Tell me why I never want to hear you say, I want it that way. Tell me why ain't nothing but a mistake. Tell me why I never want to hear you say, I want it that way. 'Cause I want it that way. Thank you.
Give it up for Howie.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Gracias.
Yes. Let's do so fast a Q&A session. So we prepare